life, beat depression. It's day 712, and we're back with another somatic healing session to wipe out depression. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here now. Anyone who's tuning in later. As you know, we focus in on mental health tools first, Martial Arts for Mental Health show, and that first tool is gratitude. I want to send out gratitude to everybody tuning in. To the first one tuning in, KenBro777. Thanks, man. Thanks for being here. Appreciate that support. Also want to shout out to everybody who's tuning in later, everybody who's been showing up with consistency for themselves and for others, motivating and inspiring as they take those steps forward in their lives. You guys have been an inspiration to me, as well as other people have made comments that they have been inspired to start making progress in their lives as well. So, we're doing good work out here. That being said, that's my total gratitude section for today. Go ahead and think about something that you're grateful for. Shout out to Simon Amaze. Thanks for being here. Appreciate those positive vibes. And we're going to talk about that second mental health tool, the progress tracking tool. If you've been keeping track of your daily goal accomplishment, it can have a huge beneficial effect in your life, especially in the fight for better mental health. So keeping track of the number of days that you show up for yourself and you work forwards, you put in that work to give yourself a self-care routine, to get up, get on your feet, and fight forwards and make that progress. Keeping track of that number gives you an anchor back into the real world when those lies from depression or anxiety try to set in. Everybody goes through blue periods. Everybody's going to have good days, bad days, and there could be 100% every day. And depression comes on a scale. It's on a spectrum. So some days it's going to be worse than others. But on those days that it's bad, you can remember that those feelings, those thoughts are temporary. And this can be your reminder. This can be a reminder that those thoughts will pass, those feelings are temporary, and no matter what you're feeling, you can still make progress. You can still find a way to get up because you've already done it for 712 days or however many days you have been going. And if you are keeping track of that number, putting it on a sign or putting it somewhere visual on a calendar, on a clipboard, on a notepad, or somewhere where you can see it, can have an extra effect at bolstering self-confidence, self-esteem, and self-validation, and slowly change that victim mindset that depression would like us to have into a victorious mindset. So please do keep track of that number. If you're making progress out there, do share it with others. That's one of the best ways we can benefit each other. And that's going to be it. We're going to move into the technical part of the session today. I'm going to keep you guys and girls on your toes today. We're going to do things a little bit different. Normally we drill a whole bunch of combos, right? With the same combo a whole bunch of times. And they say, they have an expression, drillers make killers out there in the ring. And that is because the more we practice with proper form, the better our form becomes, the more accurate, the better our striking becomes. But there's another side to it too, and that is staying on your toes, staying adaptable, being able to think fast, and be present in that moment. And sometimes when we're drilling with repetition, we can get lost in that repetition. Our mind can start to wander. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to keep you on your toes, and I'm not going to tell you what's coming next. We're going to practice it together. It's going to be a little bit low intensity and more higher technical, which is good today because there is an excessive heat warning out until 8 p.m. on Friday. They're saying with the humidity and the temperature that it's real feels 105 to 108, and they're warning to watch out for overheating issues and try to take care of ourselves. So I'll be lowering my intensity. We'll be focusing on technicals. You guys already have your fundamentals because you've been here and you've been putting in that work. Shout out to Hello Nurse, Lisa the Luminary, Mad with Hats, Brett aka Soul, and Soul Traveler. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate you. So I'll break down the technicals of the strikes as we go on the first time for each one, and then we'll throw them in there at random. We'll be mixing it up. Going to stay on our toes. I'll be thinking on my toes as an instructor. You guys can think on your toes as students, following along with that procedure. Remember, go ahead and think about the thing that you're grateful for and keep track of that progress. Keep it logged. Also, push to your level and set a reasonable expectation. I don't want to say expectation because expectations in themselves are a problem, but if you're going to set a goal today, if you're going to put in the work today, it's important to tune into the here and now, and make sure you're not pushing too hard. You want to be kind to your mind and body on this journey and not set the same expectation that you had if you were having a really good day yesterday or you had a really bad day. It's always going to change. We always want to get present into the moment and see what we can do. There's always a way forward, and that way is to challenge ourselves. Without that challenge, we can't experience growth. And as long as we challenge ourselves to our skill level and don't push too hard, we won't wind up with more anxiety. or more depression. We'll find that flow zone in between anxiety of overtraining and the boredom of undertraining or not giving ourselves a challenge. So, that being said, we'll have plenty of fundamentals today, plenty of just that jab cross in there, so you guys won't be lost no matter how where your level is, whether you're beginner or intermediate or advanced. But we're also going to mix in teeps, we're going to mix in rolls, we're going to mix in parries, jab, cross, talk about dropping the guard, jab, cross, boom, boom. We're going to work some combos, parry, jab, cross, body shot. We'll be throwing all different things your way, and we'll be working on movement as well. I'll keep you guys with me. Hopefully we'll stay engaged, and that'll keep us in the moment, present, grounded, and powerful as we make this progress together. It'll be our standard rounds, 3 rounds, 3 minutes each, 1 minute breaks in between to catch your breath and drink some water. And make sure if you're out here in Jersey and you are outside, you're drinking a ton of water so you can avoid those signs of overreaching and overheating. As I said, there is an excessive heat warning out, so I gotta be super careful. I got my water here, and we'll have the fighting spirit of the 80s coming through that sweet boombox. And we'll be getting right into it. We're working from Muay Thai stance, nice and balanced, grounded, centered stance. Visualizing that opponent. If you don't have a bob, stand in for the depression dummy. Go ahead and visualize your own depression dummy. Acknowledge what it is you want to work on. If it's depression or anxiety, just assign that dummy that name, like a physical embodiment of depression. And then we're going to knock those lies right out of that stupid dummy's face. But we're going to do it with style. With some tunes.
Bluetooth.
Retro synth.
Bluetooth.
Tunes. If you'd like them and you'd like to hear more, check them out on Spotify at SackLifeOfficial.com as the artist. If not, that's cool too. Whatever. All different strokes for different folks. Alright, there we go. We're going to pop this thing and we'll pop into stance. We're going to start moving, and we're going to keep adapting. We're going to keep moving around and changing, staying in the moment, staying on our toes today. Go ahead and assume Muay Thai position, guard nice and high, squared hips, squared shoulders with that visualized target. We're going to start with the basic jab and cross, and then we'll adapt from there, we'll grow from there, and we'll get more and more complex as we go. Let's do this thing. Pop into stance. Square up with that dummy, visualize that target. Go ahead and twist through for a jab and step back to your stance. Quick jab and back to stance. Small step on that front foot for the quick jab and then back and back. Step in and back and back and back. Twisting through the hips and shoulders, tossing that jab forwards and back. Now use that jab without the twist to measure your distance. We're just testing that distance to measure and jab as we move around. Keep it mobile. Once we make contact with that dummy, once we're in firing range, I want you to twist through for a nice power cross. Boom, twisting through on the ball, that back foot, tossing that rear fist forward from your chin into the chin of that dummy, turning the fist over as you go, and back to stance. Get it moving. Remember to stay balanced. Don't let these feet come together. Always move one foot at a time in the direction that you're going. That's going to be the foot that leads. So if you're going right, right foot moves first. Going left, left foot moves first. Same thing with forwards, same thing with backwards. Just keep it mobile. Keep moving around that visualized target and visualize it as an active threat. Step in with the measuring jab. Keep that measuring jab going. No twist through the shoulders, right? We're just finding our distance to strike. Once we're in striking distance, we're going to let loose a combo 1, 2, 3. 1 for the jab, 2 for the cross, and 3 is going to be a body shot. Drop the arm, oos, hit him in the guts, back to stance. Work that measuring jab, find the distance, keep moving around while staying balanced. Get in there, get in the pocket. Once we're close enough to hit, 1, 2, 3 combo, jab, cross, body shot, again, back to stance. We're going to return to that combo a couple times. We're going to keep moving around, throw some stuff in the middle. So remember that 1, 2, 3, jab, cross, body shot combo. Keep it moving, toss that measuring jab, find your distance. Once you're there, step in for the 1, 2, 3, body shot, back to stance. Step in for the jab, double jab, triple jab, back to stance, jab, cross, square up, parry jab, parry, swat that shot out of the way, roll through the shoulder for the jab, back to stance, square up, Step in and find your distance. Work that measuring jab. Once you're close enough, hit him with that 1, 2, 3. Jab, cross, drop that fist down, locking the elbow at 90. Rotate through, fire from the hip. Boom, and drive that body shot. Back to stance, square up with that dummy. Let's knock those lies out. Step in for the 1, 2. Square up, keep the guard high. Parry, back to stance, parry. The parry comes just from the arm. We don't have to roll through the whole body. Arm swats that shot out of the way. Parry, counter jab. Parry, counter jab. When we counter jab, we'll parry that shot out of the way. Once it's out of the way, we're gonna roll through the shoulder. Boom, twist through the hip. Counter, counter jab. Parry, counter. Back to stance, and that's the end of round 1. Catch your breath, drink some water. Shout out to Silky1. Thank you for being here. Ooh, check in on you. Make sure you're pushing to your level and not dehydrating out in the heat. Next round, we're going to work some teeps in there in the mix. And we're going to keep on our toes, keep it moving, keep it fluid. We're going to try and use those tools that we've been learning for so many hundreds of days. Most of you guys have been regular out here and putting in the work, gaining those skills, making that progress. And it's important that we keep challenging ourselves to our skill level. And as that skill level increases, it's very important to increase the challenge, not get set in a routine or one specific way. So 10 seconds, we're popping back into stance. Square up with that visualized target. If you got a bob, you can use them. Remember, measuring jab comes just from the arm, right? Just from the arm. We find our distance with the measuring jab, and then we roll through, put our fist inside the face, boom, of that dummy. Back to stance, square up. Visualize that target, tuck the chin, roll the shoulders, roll the hips, bend those knees. Keep it nice and balanced. Step in with a measuring jab. Find your distance, boom, boom, we're there. We're gonna drop the guard this time. Turning the glove forwards, we're gonna reach over the top and drop that guard on that depression dummy. As soon as the guard is low enough, we're gonna fire a punch right over the top of that jab for a little counter jab action, and then roll right through for the cross. Back to stance, measure, measure, measure. We're visualizing that dummy with their gloves up right now, and we're measuring, we're finding our distance to strike. Let's say their guard is high, they got a nice tight guard. We're going to reach over the top of that guard and pull it down with the lead hand. As it comes down, once we see the face, roll through with a small step forwards, pop them with the jab. Back to stance, square up, measure, 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 measure. Drop their guard, roll through for the jab, roll through for the cross, back to stance. Measure, measure, measure. Now we're going to fire a teep, lead teep. Drive them back, knock them off their balance, off their flow. Coming back again, what are we gonna do? We're gonna step to the side, twist through for a hook. Boom, hooked, lead hook to the head. Back to stance. Start with a teep. As they get closer, they're getting closer to range. They're not in striking range for the hands, but we've got our long range weapons ready. Locked and loaded, lift that front foot on one plane. Pulling the hips in like we practiced before. Drive through those hips. Drive the ball of that foot forwards and knock them back off their balance. Step in for the 1, 2. Back to stance. Square up. Tuck that chin. 1, 2. Back to stance. They're coming back. Hit them with the teeth. Lead teeth. Boom. Exhale hard. Put that weight into it. Use that rotation to maintain balance. Remember to chop the hand on the same side for that teep. Make it a nice powerful teep. Aiming for center mass. Step in for the 1, 2. Square up. They're coming back. We're going to lead teep. Rear foot comes forward for balance, comes in, and drive through for center mass. Back to stance, square up. Hit that dummy in the face with a 1, 2. Keep it moving, left and right. Work that movement. You can use the hands to carry that flow as well. Step in and hit them with the 1, 2. Down the center line, lead teep. Back to stance, 1, 2. Lead teep. Mix it up. Work on that horizontal movement now. Measure. Measure, measure, as you move left to right, measure with that lead jab, lead hand. We're not twisting through the shoulders, we're not putting power into it, we're just testing, finding that range. Once we find it, we're gonna jab, cross, and then body shot, that 3-hit combo coming back. Let's go, measure, 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 and range, jab, cross, body, back to stance, and it's the end of round 2. Catch your breath, drink some water. We'll introduce some elbow strikes in round 3, and we'll keep it complex. We'll keep it moving, keep it changing. No getting comfortable. There's no growth in the comfort zone, so we want to stay uncomfortable. That way we can keep moving forwards. And if you're lost, slow it down, drop the intensity, drop the volume, drop the pace. You can do that. You're in total control over your output out there. And it's important that you give yourself that challenge, not compete with each other. So if I'm moving too fast, always slow it down, take it down a notch. If I'm moving too slow, ramp it up so you can give yourself that challenge. And remember, the process is the goal. The progress is the goal. So even if you only do 1 minute today, even if you only do 5 minutes or 10 minutes, doesn't matter. Those are steps forwards, those count. So let's get back on track. Square up with that depression dummy, square hips, square shoulders. Bend in the knees, step forwards into your balanced stance, Muay Thai position, guard high. Step in with the measuring jab. Now we're gonna start working in elbows like I mentioned before. So elbows are very close range weapons, so we wanna be inside that pocket. We wanna be real close for an elbow. So what we're gonna do for that is we're gonna explode in off that rear foot. We're gonna launch ourselves forwards off that rear foot. Remember to keep yourself balanced at all times. Step in, we got the measuring jab going. We're getting close. When we're in a decent range, say right about here, what we're gonna do is explode forwards and twist through. Exploding forwards off that rear foot and then back out. So we've got a measuring jab, measuring jab, measuring jab. Explode, boom, twisting through the shoulders, twisting forwards into that elbow strike, and then explode back. Explode in, boom, explode out, boom, back to stance. Square up with that dummy, hit him with the 1-2. Right down the pipe, keep it square. Measure, measure, keep it moving, measure, measure, measure. Once you're in range, explode forwards, twisting through the shoulders and hips, reaching that lead hand back as if to comb the hair. There's your lead elbow strike. Boom, back to stance, right in the face. And we're gonna follow it up with a second elbow strike now. Explode forwards, twist through the body for that rear elbow. Bring that rear elbow around and back to stance. Square up, measure, 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 measure. We're gonna hit him with that 1-2-3 from the beginning. Measure, we're in range, 1-2, body shot, back to stance. Jab, cross, body shot. That's our combo we've been following through. Hit him with the lead teep, knock him off balance. Bam, back to stance, square up. Measure, measure, measure. Hit him with the 1-2. Back in, measure, measure. Get close and launch that elbow. Boom, elbow straight. Rotate through for that rear elbow. And bring it back around. Square up with that target and keep it moving, keep it mobile. Make some distance between you with the lead teep. Back to stance, he's coming back in. What are we gonna do? He's tossing a jab. Parry that jab, roll through for the counter, counter, and bring that body shot back. Boom! Right back there, back into stance. Let's make some distance again. Lead teep. Back to stance, square up. He's coming in, he's tossing the jab. Parry the jab, roll, ba, ba. 3-hit combo right there, right out of the parry. Back to stance, let's do it again. Let's drill this thing. Lead teep. Square up, opponent's coming in, he's tossing a jab, parry, jab, cross, body shot, back to stance, square up. Let's do it again, lead teep to create distance. Opponent's coming back and he's tossing a wild jab, parry, jab, cross, body shot. Teach him a lesson, back to stance, square up, hit him with the 1-2. Square up, explode with that elbow forwards, boost, rotate for the follow-up, boom, back to stance, lead teep. Square up, he's coming back one more time. Parry, 3-hit combo. Parry, there it is. Woo, and that was 3 rounds. Today of progress and success. If you made it through all 3, congratulations on the progress. If you only made it through 1 minute, congratulations on the progress. That's what it's all about. Progress is success out here. There's no limit to how much progress we can make. Therefore, no limit to how successful we can be. Make sure that you are keeping track of your success and giving yourself proper credit for it, especially if you are dealing with mental health issues, because depression is a life-threatening disease. Every day you stay alive is proof of your strength, let alone every day that you get up and you work forwards and you make progress. Let this number remind you who you are and what you can do. Until next time, I will catch you same exact time, same exact channel, same exact life. Zach Man out.